Hi. One of my New Year's resolutions was to make an actual legit YouTube video this year, so I thought I might as well make it something that could help someone. Around this time last year was when I got my college acceptances, including into UCSD, and I thought my decision was going to be pretty easy, but that did not end up being the case. I made and remade my choice. I was looking up videos on YouTube. I was spending hours on subreddits. It was a very kind of emotionally terrible time in my life. The truth is, wherever you go, you're going to be fine, but you can't exactly flip a coin or turn a wheel to figure out which college you're going to go to. You still have to choose. So if this video gives you some more information that will help you in that process, that's all I want. Let's just get this one out of the way. This is one of the biggest cons or drawbacks you hear about UCSD, that it's socially dead, that there's not a lot of parties, people are kind of studious and in their own bubble. And it's true up to a certain point, but this school is so big and there's so many people that you can find anyone. You can find any group of people you want. You just have to be in the right place. It's a little bit difficult to say anything about how social UCSD is as a university if you've never been to another college. But I will say that a large part of the social experience here seems to be learning how to take initiative. So if you're like me and you're an introvert and you don't really like to say, hey man, let's do this thing over the weekend, you might have to learn that. And I don't think that that's a UCSD exclusive thing. I think that's just a part of growing up. In college, everyone has their own schedules and stuff, so you need to be the one. You can't expect people to drag you out of your room every day, It really is the luck of the draw. And if you want to have like a really flourishing social life here, you can. You just have to go out there and seek it. The biggest piece of advice I have for people who are scared of the social life here is to join orgs. Please join orgs. Orgs are clubs in college, so there's an org for pretty much everything. What an org does is it gives you a structure. They give you a place where you can meet the same people every week or every other week. And it also gives you an obligation to go outside. And you can probably find an org that fits your niche interests, and then there will be people you have something in common with. If you're worried about parties here, I would say orgs are the best place you can go to find parties because there are certain orgs who do parties. A lot of orgs host parties. If you don't expect to have a huge social circle where you'll know someone who knows that a party is going on, then joining an org is the best way to go about it. If you're into funny people or being funny or making a real-life satire newspaper that gets distributed all around campus, join the MQ. We meet every Tuesday in Half Dome Lounge. We do social events. We get together, we have parties, and we get to make this entire paper. We write it, we draw it, come do something for us. Let's go. Food. The food here is pretty damn good. You might not like everything that's on the menu, you probably won't, but it really is kind of the luck of the draw with food too. Something interesting about UCSD that kind of differentiates it from maybe some of the other colleges you're considering is the way that we go about our dining dollars or the way that we pay for our food. At the beginning of the year, when you're paying for your housing, you also pay for a dining plan, which can either be something that's like $3,000 something or $5,000 something. Choose the $3,000 something. Everyone I know has extra dining dollars that they're trying to spend as fast as possible. Choose the lesser one. You pay for these dining dollars at the beginning of the year and then you use them throughout the year like regular money. We don't have swipes. We don't have like a set number of swipes you have to do by a certain time. You just have to try to spend all your dining dollars by the end of your first year or by the next quarter after your first year, which is the furthest it rolls over, I think. So it's pretty intuitive, you just kind of spend it like real money. There are lots of different dining halls on campus, but you'll only be like maining a few. That'll mostly depend on where you live, which depends on your college, which is something I'm gonna talk about soon. For some reason, I've eaten a lot of chicken on campus since I came here. Like, I've never eaten so much chicken in my life. Obviously not the vegan places, but there's a lot of chicken. There's like the crispy chicken sandwich is, I think, one of the most consistently good menu items on campus, but it's all up to you. Here's a speed run of all the foods I've eaten during my first year here that I've photographed. So if you want to get to know some of the menu items, you can pause the video at a certain frame. Both dining dollars and markets, which are like little stores you can pick up food from, take dining dollars. So you'll mostly be eating at those two. There are some other places on campus, like the big, the chain stores like Panda Express and Subway, that take Triton Cash, which is another form of money, I guess. You can convert Triton Cash back into real money, so most people want to use up their dining dollars. So you'll mostly be eating at dining halls and markets. Dorms. Dorms depend on which college you're in. I'm in 6th college, and I got a single dorm with a view of the ocean, so I basically won the Powerball. In 6th, you have your dorm. Obviously, here's like a quick video of my dorm that I took when I moved in, because right now it's a total mess. 6th has this system where we have floors of the building, so every floor has its own common area, which has a kitchen and like a fridge and stuff. And each floor also has a few different suites. And these suites are like the little smaller groups that you'll be living in. As for my suite, I think we have 5 rooms. 3 of them are doubles and 2 of them are singles. Each suite has its own bathrooms and its own sinks. I guess you could call them I don't think they're communal. Actually, you just share them. We have 4 sinks, so everyone's just sharing a sink with one other person, which is really not that bad. We have 2 bathrooms as well, or actually, they're not really bathrooms. We have separate toilet rooms, which is really weird, but it's a really big room too. It's like, I don't know why you need so much space, but we have 2 toilet rooms, and I think 3 shower rooms that we use. Maybe it's only 2, I don't remember. But yeah, we have our own suite common area as well to hang out with people in our suites. Sometimes suites are connected with stairs, so you can go down to the lower floor suite as well. Suites are divided by gender, so there's a boys' suite and a girls' suite, and there are definitely options if you don't want to be in one of these suites. It's all in the stuff that you fill out at the beginning of the year when you're choosing housing. On a certain floor of your building, you'll have a laundry room where you can do your laundry. You pay with Triton Cash, you just pay with your ID card. Our beds are twin XL, and I've never used one of those before, but it actually feels pretty comfortable and pretty big because I have a mattress topper, so don't even worry about that. First of all, here's a really important piece of information if you weren't accepted into UCSD as a CS major, but you want to be a CS major. And this is like recent information. This is happening this year and onward. So a lot of people might not know about it. If you were accepted into UCSD not as a CS major, but you want to be a CS major, you are not going to be able to transfer into CS. They're leaving it up to admissions, so if you aren't admitted with the major, you aren't going to be able to switch in. This is a change that's happening, I think, starting this summer. So it's happening right now. And it's really unfortunate, and I know a lot of professors are really upset about this, but it's just because there's too many people in the major. They've tried a lot of different methods into having people switch in. They used to have like a grades-based system until that became way too cutthroat. And then they had a lottery-based system, which was what it's been up until like this year. But going forward, I think it's not going to be possible for people to switch into the computer science major specifically. Please correct me if I'm wrong about this. I don't know if this is going to change. It might, but this is, as far as I know, could be a huge thing for choosing which college you're going to. Please, please, please choose a college where you have the major that you want, or where it's easy for you to switch into the major that you want, because otherwise it's going to be stressful. That being said, there are a lot of other majors at UCSD that do similar things as the CS major and which are actually possible to transfer into. Put some examples up on the screen here: math CS, data science, cognitive science. At the end of the day, it really just depends on what you want to study. As for jobs or internships in programming, I really don't think that the specific major you have is really going to matter all that much. especially if it's a computing related major anyway. There are a lot of people in computer science clubs and communities who are not CS majors, and they do fine. They do very well for themselves. And now for the reason that we're supposed to be in college, the education and the job experiences. There's a lot of seagulls out there. From my experience, a lot of the professors here, especially in computer science, truly care about your learning, and they're doing research in how to make their classes better. It's really a problem about learning how to ask for help, which has been a big thing for me personally. A lot of help is going to be out there, I think, in UCSD, but you have to seek it out yourself. I wanted to add that there's a really robust support system in CS. There's a huge network of undergraduate tutors and graduate TAs that are there to help you through especially the lower level CS courses. They have a ticketing system, they have office hours, they have one-on-ones. There's a lot of resources that you can take advantage of. Biggest word of advice for CS people is, like I said, ask for help, go to office hours, talk to the professors. A lot of them, most of them really, really care. And the campus. I almost forgot about this, and this is one of the big things that was concerning me when I was choosing. Yes, the UCSD campus is big, but you won't have to see all of it. You won't have to be everywhere on campus. Everything is in a manageable distance to walk. I think the furthest you can go on campus is maybe a 15-minute walk. If you have classes that are far away, it might just take a little bit more planning. Do you need a scooter or a bike? I mean, it's honestly just personal preference. I don't have either one of those, and I have done just fine so far. I think most people don't have either of those, but it is convenient to have if you're running late for something, so that's all up to you. Just make sure you lock it up tight because there are scooter thieves here. The campus vibe is just really open and you can find anything you want, I guess. The vibe is pretty inconsistent between colleges, I would say. There are really nice, little places that you've never seen before on campus just because of how large it is. I like to just go exploring, if I need to find a place to study or something, I like to just take a walk around. I visited the medical campus when I was studying for finals, and that place is gorgeous. I mean, grass and trees and just pretty buildings. I don't know, you can find anything you want here, pretty much. One thing you won't find here, though, are those big, old, prestigious-looking column buildings. I don't know what to call them. The architecture here is very much on the concrete side. I visited USC just a couple of days ago, and I think that's one of the biggest things that I felt was different, because they had red brick stuff and just huge, buildings and sculptures of people. There's some very interesting art around campus, though. We have the Stewart Art Collection, which is just a collection of these quirky things. They're pretty funny, I think. I really like them, actually. And of course, we have the ocean. I don't know if you can see it that's the ocean right there. That's the ocean line. And that's just awesome. We have a beach, literally right there. You can see it. The sunset right now does not look that good because there's a lot of clouds, but the sunsets here are gorgeous. Seriously. I might add some videos here to prove it. Yeah, having the ocean there makes it all feel a lot more chill and a lot more free. I think San Diego has the best weather. It's very mild here. It's very sunny. I think one thing that we do get a lot of is fog. We get a lot of fog around here just because we're so close to the ocean. But yeah, it's just nice. College. If you've already been accepted into UCSD, you know what your college is. But if you haven't applied yet, or if you don't know what it is, UCSD is a university, and it's divided its student body into 7 colleges. These colleges basically determine where you live on campus. So there's a specific, there's a location for each college on campus. Each of these colleges have their own architecture, their own dorms, their own dining halls. Something even more important, each college has its own general education requirements, which are the classes that you have to take to get your degree. AP equivalencies. So if you took a lot of APs or you took specific APs during high school, what will that give you credit for? And it also determines your writing sequence. In UCSD, everyone has to take a writing sequence, and which college you're in determines what writing sequence you get, which also determines how hard that writing sequence is, how many classes you have to take for your writing sequence. And yeah, it's kind of important. When I was applying to UCSD, I had no idea how important colleges were. And so when it told me to rank these like random names, I literally just looked it up on Google and I just put what Google told me. And that was the wrong idea because that information was outdated. I'm really lucky because I put 6th as my third choice and I got 6th. 6th got new dorms recently, which is why, this stuff is all so nice looking. Each college also has a different vibe, like vastly different vibes. If you look at the architectures between all of these colleges, they are so different. They are so different. UCSD is not known for being architecturally consistent. And if you're curious, here's my personal ranking of the 7 colleges, completely honestly. This is based on all the factors that I talked about, as well as the general reaction people have when you say you're in this college or that college. Of course, you can be in any college and have a great time. Most people move off campus within like 2 or 3 years anyway, so you might not even have to be around the college very much anymore. But it does tell you a little bit about what you'll see, at least during your first year here, so look into it. I want to end this video with a word of warning. When I was choosing colleges, I originally did not want to go to UCSD for a long time, and I attribute a lot of that actually to the subreddit, r/UCSD. It's actually a really funny place. I think UCSD has one of the most active subreddits out of any college I've seen. And there's a lot of great information on there. If you are looking for like straight facts, you will find them. The problem that I had was I was relying on the subreddit too much to give me an accurate view of what student culture was like here, and it is not. Something about the UCSD subreddit is you will find a lot of negativity there. Negativity about the school, negativity about life in general. Now that I've been here, it's really clear that the subreddit is not representative of what the actual student body is like. There are definitely people here who are unhappy that they are here, and definitely problems with the school that need to be addressed. But the proportion of negative posts to positive posts on the subreddit is just way skewed, just because, people will post when they are unhappy. They won't usually post when they're happy. It's clear that the average student here does not feel the same way about UCSD as the average UCSD Redditor. And if you're like me and you are like going on that subreddit all the time to try and see what the culture is like here, just keep that in mind. Just get off Reddit in general. I think that's better for you. Did you look at that? Look how pretty the sky got right when I stopped recording. Can't believe this. I'm gonna have to re-record this whole video. Will you be able to take the classes you want? Yes, pretty much. Something pretty important that I didn't know before I came here was the existence of enrollment times. At UCSD, we have this first pass, second pass system, which is basically you get to enroll in a certain number of your classes first, and then the week after you get to enroll in the rest of your classes. And the times that those begin, the days and the times that those enrollment times open, depends on how many units you have. Disclaimer, this is not true for your first ever quarter here, as your enrollment time is random. But after that, it's all based on how many credits or units you have. Basically, that means if you have more APs or dual enrollment credits as you're going into UCSD, it will be a lot easier for you to get the classes you want. But yeah, so far I've been able to take a lot of classes that I enjoy and like ones that are also unrelated to my major. So it's manageable, it's doable. I think UCSD guarantees you 4 years of housing if you are a Regents scholar. I'm not sure on that, but if you have a scholarship, you can have 4 years of guaranteed housing. But if you don't have a scholarship, which is most of us, including me, you get 1 year of guaranteed housing. I'm rounding off my first year. Most of the first years I know got housing for their second year, but a lot of them are still moving off campus for, financial reasons, or maybe they just want that experience. I'm personally probably going to stay on campus for my second year just because it's more convenient. Most people, I think, move off campus by their third year.